Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today. I'm Sergeant Matt Bertram, and I'll be the moderator for today's press conference. The Pure Regional Police are holding this press conference today in relation to an explosion which occurred on Thursday at the Bombay Bhel restaurant. 12 Division Superintendent Rob Ryan will be providing an update on the investigation. He will then take your questions afterwards. Superintendent Ryan? Thanks, Matt.
Good morning, and thanks for coming today. I'd first like to thank members of the media who have helped us to quickly provide information to the public about this case. Public tips are critical to this investigation and will enable us to find those responsible for this terrible act of violence. Now I'd like to provide you with an update on the progress of the Bombay Bhel restaurant bombing investigation. To recap the incident, on Thursday, May 24th, at approximately 10:30 p.m., two suspects entered the Bombay Bhel restaurant located at 5035 Ontario Street and placed an IED, improvised explosive device, inside, which exploded, injuring 15 people who were then rushed to the hospital. The suspects immediately fled eastbound on foot. Our investigators have now officially completed processing the scene of the explosion. This was a highly complex process that involved the cooperation of multiple bureau and specialized units of the police service. Processing the scene involved our forensic experts who photographed the restaurant and collected physical evidence, including fingerprints and DNA. It will be analyzed by the province's Center of Forensic Science. We had the explosive disposals unit analyze the blast site and scour the surrounding areas looking for other potential explosives. We are happy to report we did not find any. Investigators spent hundreds of hours over the weekend combing the scene for every fine detail that might lead them to understand what took place that night. Besides our own people, we have engaged other police agencies from across the GTA to work with us to share and gather information that might lead to a verdict in this case. Investigators are now analyzing the data from forensic testing and all other evidence that has been obtained through this process. In processing the crime scene, we have confirmed that the improvised explosive device, commonly known as the IED, appears to be homemade. However, what led the two suspects to detonate this device is still not clear. We do not have a clear motive, and no one has claimed responsibility. Our public safety unit has conducted a thorough ground search for evidence using canine support in conjunction with drones to map out the area. At the same time, we are continuing to canvass the surrounding neighborhoods, searching for more witnesses and video surveillance from cars, homes, and businesses that might be of help. We have set up a full-time task force to work on this file. They will explore every possible avenue and every available lead. The task force has set up a dedicated phone number so anyone with information can call them directly anytime, day or night. The tip line is 1-866-966-0616. We have confirmed that at the night of the incident, there were approximately 30 people inside the restaurant. Officers have since spoken to and interviewed all of the people. Original reports of the suspects indicated they were both men. However, our investigators now believe at least one suspect could be a woman. I would like to detail the suspect descriptions for you again. The first suspect is described as approximately 5'10" to 6 foot tall with a stocky build. They were wearing dark pants, a dark colored hoodie pulled overhead, baseball cap, and their face was covered with dark material. The second suspect is described as approximately 5'10" to 6 feet tall with a medium build. They were wearing blue jeans, a dark colored hoodie pulled over their head, and their face was covered with dark material. The suspects went to great lengths to hide their identities. I must point out that anyone who has or is assisting these criminals will also be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We know there are people out there who know who did this, and it's time for them to do the right thing and come forward. While we understand this investigation is drawing extensive public interest from around the world, we want you to understand this is a complex case and it's going to take time to solve. We will continue to keep you updated as new information emerges, and we appreciate your continued patience and support. We can't solve this case without your help. Assistance from the community is critical. We would like to urge anyone with any information that may help us to understand what occurred at the Bombay Bhel restaurant to come forward. If you were present in the plaza at 5035 here Ontario Street the night of Thursday, May 24th, please contact us through the dedicated phone number. The tip line, once again, 1-866-966-0616. We need your help to solve this horrendous crime, so we encourage you to call us. Before I take questions, I'd just like to point out on a photo the route the two individuals took after exiting the restaurant. The Bombay Bhel restaurant was located right there. The suspects went eastbound through a field along Preston Meadow Avenue.
Do you mind holding the microphone?
The microphone.
You can actually hold it and...
I can probably just direct you through that.
Yeah, I would like you to point better.
I just don't know if this is connected.
And when you do it, just look at this camera right here.
Or someone can hold that shit up. Let's move this closer.
Oh, now we can't see the podium's in the way now, sorry.
Can you take us off here and we'll take it out?
Look at you, Miss Technical.
You're alive on the weapon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I got a big glare.
So this is the Bombay Bhel restaurant. The suspects left and went eastbound along Armdale Road through this construction site field right up to Thornwood Drive and Forum Drive. That's where K9 lost the track. So concentration of our video that we're looking for is going to be along that corridor there and then through any roads leading out that way.
Superintendent, can we look at the other picture, please? And can you tell us which of the two suspects you think is a woman and what led investigators to think so?
There's nothing specific in that photograph. There's evidence that's coming to light through witnesses and through some other video that leads investigators to believe that it just may not be a male.
What video do you have?
We have surveillance video from homes, from cars. We have a lot of video along that route that we just haven't processed yet, but we do have some video that shows them running eastbound on Prestonwood.
At this
Can you
point,
go into
do you
more
think
detail
terrorism
about
was
where
involved
the
in this
ID
at all?
was detonated?
Sorry.
Can you go into just a little more detail about exactly where in the restaurant that IED was detonated? Was the main hall, the dining room, or the bathroom?
Well, I can't, but I can say that the suspects went in and were out very quickly, so it wasn't any further than around the front entrance of the restaurant.
Superintendent, can you give us an idea of the extent of some of the injuries sustained here, particularly the three with the critical injuries? What type of injuries are we talking about here? Can you shed some light on their injuries?
Well, what I can say is that they all went to the hospitals. Three of them went to Sunnybrook. Those three were released the following day. They did have to have surgery, my understanding, for some of the people.
But you can't be more specific, broad, right? I mean, what type of injuries? Paramedics said critical blast injuries, but can you elaborate on that at all?
I can't because I'm not an expert in that area. What I know is that the injuries at first were deemed to be critical. When they went to Sunnybrook and were operated on, they were released the following day, and I don't know if that helps you.
You said some of the witnesses, that the information that you got from the witnesses made you believe that one of the suspects is a woman. So did the witnesses hear the suspects talking at any point? What is that based on?
So I don't want to say that it is a woman. We're just not precluding that it may be a woman. I know that it was mentioned on Friday that there were two males, and at this point our investigators are not prepared to say that they are definitively males.
So you're speaking with the people who own and run the restaurant, the people who were there dining that night. I still don't have an idea of what the motive was here, why these suspects did it. So what do you think the risk is of them doing something like this again and not caught?
Well, we are working very hard to identify them and apprehend them. Without the motive at this point, there's nothing to suggest that there is something in them.
Are the owners of the restaurant cooperating with police?
Absolutely is.
There is no fatal victim in this case. Can I safe to say it is because the bomb is not close enough to the victim, to the two parties?
I can't say that. I am not an expert in explosions, but that's what we will get as a result of what the CFS will tell us. They'll provide us with a formal report, and then we'll know exactly what this device was capable of.
Can you tell us what the motivation was? Have you determined anything at this point?
I'm sorry, once
Have you
again.
heard anything about motivation? I mean, we talked last week about terrorism. Any indication that this could be terrorism related?
No, there's absolutely nothing.
How long were the suspects in the restaurant?
I don't have the exact time, but it wasn't very long.
Superintendent, do you believe anyone in the restaurant or the restaurant itself was targeted?
We don't know that at this point.
Can you
What
give us
type of
an
charges are
extent
these
of the
people
video evidence that you've collected so far?
I know that we have a lot of video evidence that we've collected, we just haven't analyzed it. So that's the next step in our investigation. And I can tell you that the video, what we're doing is we're still doing a canvas for video. That is takes a long time.
How are you so confident in being able to say that it wasn't a hate crime or wasn't a terrorist attack, that you don't have a motive?
So when we first had the incident happen, we had a number of agencies that we looked to provide us with information. Our intelligence unit was on scene that night. They liaised with other agencies throughout the GTA, the province, and INSET, and gave them what they had in the way of details. And we don't have any messaging during the incident, before the incident, from these individuals. No conversation that we're aware of. So that's how we're saying at this point we have nothing to suggest it was a terrorist or a hate crime.
So they didn't speak when they were in the restaurant? There was no exchange of conversation?
At this point, we don't have that. No.
What kind of charges would these people be facing if they were arrested?
It'll be attempted murder for one. And then beyond that, there'll be a series of other criminal charges.
Is there any information to suggest this may have been a family dispute or something involving the restaurant owners?
No, not at this point.
Any idea how many people you've interviewed, just in terms of numbers and such?
Well, there were, as I said, approximately 30 inside the restaurant. Those are the people that we wanted to get to first over the weekend, and we have interviewed all of them. There will be a series of other people now identified through those interviews that we'll have to get to.
That was including the staff, 30 including restaurant staff?
That's correct.
Is this a timed explosion or timed IED, or did it blow up before they left or while they're inside?
It detonated after they left the restaurant. I don't know about the timing, that aspect of it.
And Superintendent, just to be clear, I just want to make sure, you're saying one could be a woman, but you don't know which of the two could be female. Is that clear?
I don't know.
Or the investigators?
The investigators probably have an idea, but I don't.
You have a video of them placing it, right?
I don't know that, sir.
Just a couple more questions.
So the bomb itself, I mean, how important do you think that could be to tracing back who it was that put it together?
I think it would be very important.
And how, what sort of things could we glean from it to see?
Well, as I mentioned, it's a homemade device, so that may not help us. Whatever was put in that may be lying around the home. But from the Center of Forensic Science, we expect that they will be able to tell us just how complicated of a device this is and where you get the information to build this, what it takes.
Yeah, like is it the kind of device that you could get instructions for online, for example?
My understanding is that there are a number of different devices you could make that are available online.
Do you know how rudimentary this device was? What was the base ingredients? And because obviously, if you look at the restaurant, the blasting looked so powerful in the sense that there was no windows blown out, there was no like sign of fire or anything like that. Was it this explosion? Did it cause a lot of damage inside the actual restaurant?
Not that I'm aware of. Could it have caused more damage if it was placed somewhere else? I don't know. We do have the city involved as the building inspector is looking at the building to make sure it's structurally sound. But beyond that, I don't know.
What other police agencies are helping?
Another
question.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance.
You didn't get a chance, I know.
Thank you, Superintendent Ryan.
Can we just
So we're
have a
gonna provide
question? I
media-
didn't get a chance to.
We're going to provide a media release with all the information given, as well as these pictures that were shown today, and we'll send those out to you directly after. Thank you for coming.
Can we talk to the inspector herself? Thank you.
I've never had anybody plug a mic on the air.
Yeah, I know.